candles to remember Sihle. Karinda, good afternoon to you. It's a really stark image that we're seeing there this afternoon.
Yes. Yes, good afternoon, Stephen. You'll be able to see right now my colleague, Ezakheni C will show you the candles that the community have lit here. They came here about half an hour ago, and this was led by Sihle's mother, Thulile, who we spoke to earlier in the day. We saw her, she was kneeling down right here, and she was praying and asking for closure. Stephen, she's come to the idea that when Sihle went missing 4 days ago, on the 14th of January, he was playing here in this water and he was with his friends, but he was swept underwater by the strong current. And he's never been seen alive since. Thulile's come to terms with knowing that her son may have passed away. She says that she's come here today to pray to be able to find his body, because this will assist her in finding closure. This is all she needs. Thulile is the mother of 2 children. Her youngest is 4 years old. And if indeed Sihle is found, or his body was found, it would make him the first of fatalities here in this town of Ladysmith that over the past week has been hit by bouts of severe storms, torrential rain leading to localized flooding. This is the Klip River, and what you're seeing right now is the strong current. The water has increased drastically. She said that the river would never be this high. In fact, it wasn't even this high when Sihle was swimming. But it's because of torrential rain, we see the water rose once again. This is the same river that went over its banks in the town as it went past the town of Ladysmith, and as a result flooded the CBD. The very same river flooded the Forbes Street, where we saw many shops and homes have been almost submerged underwater. One of the messages that Thulile gave out is that she wants to ensure and encourage parents as well as teachers to try and educate children about the dangers of swimming in such rivers. We've seen some videos of children swimming in the Tugela River as well. And the aftermath of that, of course, and the danger of that is that they could be swept away by these currents. There are riptides that you'll see here. Paul will zoom in and show you. And it would be impossible to swim in that, because you can imagine the strength of the water and the depths of the river as well. This is the dangers that we are seeing across parts of KwaZulu-Natal that have been hit by these bouts of torrential rain, leading to this type of flooding, or leading to rivers having strong currents in this way. Right now, though, Thulile has returned home. We understand from the Kokta Department of KwaZulu-Natal that they've spoken to her. They've tried to assist her with some sort of relief, but also assured her that rescue teams will return to this river once again, once they see that the strength of the current has somewhat died down, to try and resume their search. It's also too dangerous for them to actually go into this water as well. So that's what's happening on the ground here. Across Ladysmith, though, business owners, homeowners of those streets that have been submerged in water are now also trying to recover economically. It's going to take some time for the water to recede from those flooded streets that we saw early on. It may take over a week. And among the recovery operations as well is going to be looking at how to rebuild. Stephen, the Kokta MEC, Sipho Hlumuka, was in this town much earlier, taking a somewhat tour of the area. And he confirmed that a report is being put together about what's happened in Ladysmith and will be surfaced to the Provincial Executive Council to ultimately find out how much the damage has come to. Last week we saw that the damage to parts of KwaZulu-Natal overall amounted to more than 3 billion rand, and there was a request then to declare parts of KZN as a state of disaster. The Kokta MEC has confirmed that that has not yet happened. That declaration has not yet happened, as per what the local mayor of this town told us yesterday. He said that there are still processes that need to that need to be held for this to happen. And right now we don't even know what the cost of damages are going to be here in Ladysmith, or when funds will be able to come through for people to recover, especially small business owners as well, who may have lost many of their assets as their shops have been flooded completely by this torrential rain that led to this flooding.
It really is the most incredible story that we've seen there, Karinda, and the way that the community has been hurt by this, the way the family is battling to come to terms with it. It shows you how difficult this time has been for so many people in KwaZulu-Natal.
Absolutely. Overall, since December, when these bouts of storms hit, we heard from the KwaZulu-Natal Premier that there have been more than 205 incidents of severe storms since December, and since then 25 people have died across the province. But this number could change, Stephen, because even now we're hearing that this young boy, this 14-year-old child, has gone missing. He went missing 4 days ago, and even his own mother has come to the river begging and hoping that she'll be able to at least find his body. But Stephen, you can even look at the trees that are submerged in water. Take a look at how various items are caught on those trees. What the community was hoping when they came here and they heard that Sihle had drowned, we heard that a number of community members came here and were hoping to see that he would perhaps be hanging on to these trees, that he would have been caught somewhere, but there was nothing. There was silence. They didn't see him again. His friends never saw him again from the moment that he was swept underwater by the strong current. And that is why earlier on Tulile was weeping as she was speaking to us, saying she just hopes that children would understand that these rivers, when it is like this, is dangerous to swim in, because as much as it's quite shallow here where I am, just about a meter or 2 meters in, the water or the bank has quite a deep, extensive dip. And the current, of course, you can just see right here, 2 meters away, quite a strong current there would have swept someone away. It's a very devastating time for the community of Ladysmith. They're trying to understand how they'll ever be able to rebuild, because this is a natural disaster. And another issue for them is that this type of torrential rain is frequent in the summer months. We saw a similar issue last year and the year before when the town was flooded, but it wasn't to the extent of what we see this year. The severity of the flood, how it's completely submerged a whole street that's directly next to this river in the CBD, as it runs through the CBD. They've never seen something like this. Still in the CBD, people are having to swim into the river to get to their businesses or to get to their homes. We understand that more than 70 people have been evacuated. Of this, Stephen, are 25 children aged between 8 weeks old, a baby, and 10 years old. So it's a tragic and devastating time for the community of Ladysmith as they try and recover from this natural disaster in the midst of this global warming crisis the world is facing.
Karinda Jagmohan, thanks very much indeed. I really do appreciate that update. More, of course, on the flooding in the Pulse due to start in just a few moments. Also, live updates from